All right, so let's begin our today class. Today we're going to talk about the authentication, right? Authentication part one. We will go up to the registration form. We're going to create sign in and register, right? Like login and register, both form. Okay. So in our project, we are going to use auth, right? Next auth. Okay, something called next auth. You can look at here. Before was auth next dash auth, something like that. Now is auth.js.dev, right? That's what you're going to find. Just click on get started, and we are using Next.js. Our stack is Next.js, right? So let's click on here, and it says, even you can look at the migrating from the next auth.js, right? From old one to the new one. Okay, now is v5, okay, version 5, right? Before was v4. So if you want to migrate from v4 to v5, here is the guideline. But for now, we are not migrating. We're just gonna use the latest next dash auth @beta, right? This is the command to install next auth. Okay, so that's the step one. Also, right, in our things to do. Okay, let's see how I can get that. And I want to move this somewhere here, right, so that it will be easy for me to navigate. So things to do. Okay, install all the packages and library required for next auth, right? So let's try to install one by one. So I'm in my project folder here, next JS dash ecommerce. I'll just install, right? Okay, done. So if you go to just follow these steps, right? It says now, create the secret key, right? So we can just run this command and it will create a key for us. Okay, auth secret, right, which is needed in our .env file. Okay, so the naming is important, right? If you put auth underscore secret, then next auth will recognize it automatically. We don't have to like import like process.env.auth secret. We don't have to do, right? Now next auth has built in like these all like accessing the variable, right, has already built inside. Okay, so we don't have to manually do all that, right? So that's why the name is important, because if something is already created, right, that means it has predefined or structure name, right? So that's what we have to understand. Okay, so let's install that. I mean, when you run this code, right, it will basically create .local.env file for us. Let's see if it created, right? Yeah, here, look at this, and it added this auth secret, right? I mean, we can leave it here for local development, or we can move this, right? Let's move it to our env file, and that should be fine. Okay, just move it here, right? Make sure you put it quotation mark, right? I mean, even if you don't put, it should work, but because of this equal sign, right, I believe it's better to have quotation mark, and that's what the env local file also had, right? Okay, so done. That is the second step. Now configuration, right? So for now, we're just gonna create whatever it's saying. Okay, later we have to add all the providers like login with username, password, that is credential, or login with Google, right? So we have to configure all this, but for now, let's put the structure. Okay, so that it says create auth.ts file in your root directory, right? So we're gonna add here in our root directory. That is somewhere here. I mean, just click this one, right? And I'll just call it auth.ts. Okay, and copy the code from here. for now we will just leave it like this. Tomorrow when we start like authorizing, right, basically we're gonna have the user in the database. Now you want to log in that time you're gonna need, right, sign in, or maybe you want to sign out. So see, next auth gives us the function already for sign in, sign out, auth for accessing all the sessions and every session, right? Okay, and then it has a handler also, so it exports, basically it gives us the API, right, like get and post. Okay, so we have to call this handler in our API for calling all route, right? Like any routes, there will be any routes, it should access, it should have that this handler should have access to, right? Any routes can access this handler. Okay, that is all. So how we can create that? Simply, in our app there is API, right? So we already have API. Let's see if we have, right, in the app we don't have API. So what I will do, I'll just gonna copy everything from here, right, and go to app, create one folder and place here. Okay, and enter, right? So it did not work. Let me see. Oh, I don't need app. Okay, so I'll just delete that. Yeah, now it will work. App, auth folder, and then catch all route. When you have square bracket dot some name, right, that means it will catch all route, and then inside we have route.ts. That's how we create, right? That's how we create what? We create our folder structure. Okay, API, auth, folder, and then you have next auth with square bracket dot, right? This is called catch all route. And then we have finally route.ts where we're gonna place our code, right? So for get post. So how it works? You have to import that handler, right? This handler we're gonna import to our route.ts, and then that handler will give us the object when you just call that handler, right? Basically that handler has object which we can destructure into get and post. So either get route or post route, we have access now in our server, right? See, when we posting something, right, when you create data, when you submit the form, you're gonna have post route, or you're getting something from the database, you're gonna have a get route, right? So here we are not doing anything. Okay, it says, okay, we have the get and post route. Next.js will take care of the rest of the work. You just configure, right, all your providers, and maybe you add some sessions, you add some authorizations, whatever you have to do, right, in this configuration here. You just do it. The rest of the work this will take care, right, automatically. So our job is to just copy this and place it in our what is that, in the API route, right? So I don't know where it is hiding. Too many file open. Let me close, right? So if I click this route.ts, okay, it's not working. I don't know why. It should open, right? Delete, cancel. So it is not working. Okay, let me just delete, right, and then write it again manually. So we need a folder called API. Okay, inside you're gonna need a folder called auth, right? And then inside that auth you're gonna need all catch route, and how you get that? Dot, we call it next auth, must be the same name. Okay, and inside the next auth you're gonna have file, because in the API we need route, right? route.ts always. Okay, inside API folder, the only thing you're gonna get is route, right? So, and then we place our code here. Say we import handler from that auth, because if you look at our auth.js, right, somewhere in the global, it is exporting export const all this variable. So you're going to have sign in function, sign out function, auth function, right? To access all the sessions and everything. You have a handler object also. This is object, right? Basically. Okay. So you can import that here and basically destructor, right? To get, and it will, this object has get and post property inside. So you can destructure it like this. So you are exporting now, right? You are exporting get and post. So this will be available, automatically, right? Everywhere. And next, auth is the one who is using all this. Okay, so we done with that part now. And then it says, okay, just create middleware, right? So that it will add optional middleware. Even if you don't put this, it will work for now, right? But add optional middleware to keep the session alive, right? This will update the session expiry every time it is called, okay? Like, let's say this middleware job is to run first. So that means when you are going to any route, okay, when you are going to dashboard or home page or anywhere, right, middleware will run first. The concept of middleware here is not about next auth, okay? The auth, next auth already have something called middleware, and it says just create middleware file in your root directory, right, somewhere here, and it will run all the time. So if you have something to, in the future, if you want to have some function which you want to run on every call, right, every time somebody switch browser or go to different pages, right, you want to have something run any function, then you need to put in somewhere like middleware, right? So that's the reason we just call our auth inside middleware, this auth, right, this auth function. Okay, so here export auth as middleware. So we are just exporting middleware, right? But auth as middleware, we rename auth as middleware. Okay, if you look at the auth again, see, we are exporting this auth. Just think like this, you are import and export, it is happening same time. Okay, when you write like this, right, it is happening, you importing the auth and exporting, right, again. That's how it happened, but we just rename it to middleware now, right? So that means this, every time you switch to any page, this middleware page will always run first before you access to any other page, right? So that this will make sure the session in our browser will alive. It will always have an updated session. That is all, right? That is all going to happen with this. Done. So I think we finished setting up. So tomorrow, in tomorrow class, we're going to configure the rest of the things here, right? Okay, so today our job is to create the form now. So let's start on that part. Okay, so what we will do, right? The dashboard auth, we have auth folder already here. Okay, let's add here, right? Called sign in, and we're gonna have maybe folders sign out, not sign out, right? What is that? Sign in is login, then sign up, right? SIGN, sign up, like that. Yeah, let's keep it like that. Don't want to make like complex name, right? Sign in, sign up, and then we're gonna create sign up, right? Register form. Okay, so inside here I will create, just call it maybe sign up dash form, right? .tsx, and also you're gonna need page. Okay, page, right? Because you're gonna create the component sign up form here. That's okay, but you need a page, right? Sign up page, so that only page can display something. Okay, components, sub components is okay, right? You can create, but if that need to go somewhere, that is always inside the page. Okay, so React arrow function, I will call it sign sign up page like that, right? Sign up page. Okay. Later we're gonna import the component from here. So React arrow function, and we can call this sign sign up form, right? This is just a component form. Okay. Component name always start with capital letter, right? We know that. So we just create something like that. Sign up form. Good. Now, guys, can you give me just a few seconds, right? I will be back. Okay. I'll just stop. Should be recording now, right? Yes, it's recording. So, the first thing we're going to create is sign up form, right? I just structure it inside the auth folder. So I can call like sign up or sign in, right? And I can have access to, like localhost 3000/sign up. I can get this page, right? And here, basically, you're going to display this form, okay? Like, you can import, right? Import sign up sign or sign up form, and just display here, right? Basically, call that form inside this div. Good. That is all, right? I mean, so let's install the SATCN form. Okay. So now, where is SATCN? Yeah, right. So I'll just look for the form now inside the component. Inside this component, form will be somewhere here, right? So see this form, right? This is same like, remember HTML form with the input field, you have label and all that, right? So they create a component with all that HTML. Okay. It says, okay, I will make a component, and this component is going to have the validation for your form. You're going to have label, you're going to have input, and plus you're going to have form control also, right? Look at this. So we are using Jod here. It is using Jod already for the validation. React hook form also is there, right? Already React hook form is there, use form. Okay. So this form, what this React hook form does, we have used in our issue tracker. Yes. Right. So what this does is collect all the data from the form. Okay. And gives you in one place, right? Plus it helps it connect with the Jod also for the validation using Jod resolver, right? React hook form Jod resolver. Okay. So it has complete setup already. So how are we going to use that? If you look at this, right? See, simple form with the username, something like that, and the submit, right? You can even, this is your public display name. I mean, if you want to have description, you can add it like that. You have the label, you have this input field, you have here the like, what was that? The not title, but the, what was that? We call it a placeholder, right? See, the placeholder is there inside the input. Okay. So it's already, I mean, everything is perfectly designed, right? This component. So let's use it. Okay. Let's try to use this. I mean, if you want to do it separate, then you have to, write your own form, or maybe use what do you call that? Tailwind CSS to style your form. Then you have to use Jod separately, install the Jod. Then you have to, use the React hook form, then create all this, right? Okay, we can do that also. I mean, we have done that before, but this is complete library to use all in one place, right? So we're going to use that. Step one, this command, right? We have to install. By running this command, it will create a file inside our UI folder, right? So I will just run this, and see, it just create the library, basically the component, right, inside the UI here. So let it finish, and then I will show you. Also, I believe the, this font is too small, right? Let me make it a little big. So it finished installation. Okay. It finished installation, right? Now, if you go to the UI, inside the component UI, you will see form. Okay. See, we have card, we have buttons, we have badge, we have form now, right? the form does not have input. Okay, it comes separate, right? The one thing always remember, when you are using form, it is separate. Okay, so we have to find the input here and install that. This is the input field, right? So just install it. Okay, fine. Once we have finished, now it's time to use the form, right? So you just have to install input from here and nothing copied, right? Just input, and then everything you're gonna find inside the form. So let's take this sample form, and then I will explain, right? So here is all the code, right? Let's see. Build your form, right? So for this example, okay, just look here, right? You have name, username, input field, and some like description, right? And submit button. For that, we have code here. So I'll just copy the whole thing and bring it to our code, right? So I'm just going to remove, right, and just place it here. Okay. So let me explain now. See, Jod resolver, we know that, okay, it's coming from the Jod, right? React hook resolver Jod, okay. Use form is coming from the React hook form. So when we install the form, right, like when you install the form, everything is already installed. You have the Jod already installed. We have the button installed, right? In our component, look at here, we have the button already, okay? So you can access the button easily. These are the form, right? These are the forms object, okay? Or property, you can call it form object, right? All the fields of the form. So you have capital form, form control, form description, form field, form item, form label, form message, right? You're gonna need this from the UI form. Then you have input from the UI input, right? From this input which we just installed, okay? Then once that is done now, right? The next step is validation, right? Validation. Remember one thing we forgot, our in our what do you call that? When we working with the next auth, right? We did not create a schema. So we will just add, let's create the input form first, and then we're going to add the schema, and then we continue from there, okay? So we just have the one j.object, right? Let's call this form schema. That is okay. Let's leave it like that. Does not matter, right? Or we can give it more proper name. So this is create a user, right? Like creating, what is a sign up maybe. So we can call it sign up schema. Let's call it sign up schema, right? Let's give the name, okay? So we're gonna have what? 3 fields we're gonna have. Will we have name? So username, or just call it name is required, right? No username, but basically name. So if you don't put name, it will give error, right? So call it name must be at least 2 characters, something like that. Then after that, right, we're gonna add, maybe let's add another property, that is email, okay? Email, right? So again, same thing, same process. Just copy this, or just copy whole thing here, right, and change it quickly. Okay, so email, next here will be email. Email has its own validation, right? So you must put it like that, okay? Dot email, right? So Jod know how to validate email, okay? The property name is email, right? Fine. Maybe 3 character. Let's make it at least 3. Must have 3 character, something like that, right? Or we can say email is required. Okay, best will be message. Email is required, okay? And then we're gonna have password, right? So again, g dot string. So we are just creating a schema right now, okay, for our data, right? And then that will be minimum character. You can add min, max, right? Mean we can make it 3, and the message, right? message, we can say password is required. Okay, then after that we have password, so we can add one more. Let's add confirm password also, right? So copy that, and we're gonna have confirm password, and we can call it maybe confirm password is required. Confirm password is required, right? Something like that you have to put it. So let's say, we got the structure, right, or the like structure of our database. Okay, the table, we have name, email, password, confirm password. These are the things we're gonna send to our database when we're creating a form, right? So after that, okay, let's call this one profile. Let's call it sign up, right? Sign up form. Okay, sign up form, right? Yeah, that is fine. Sign up form, that is what we name it. So I believe when we import, right, that was sign up form. Yeah, I mean, it's just changed, right? So name is changed when you are exporting. This is name export. Okay, before was default export, right? So that's why you get error here. You can just put it inside the bracket, and that should be fine, right? Or import sign up form. Okay, so let's continue. So now the problem is, right, we don't have form yet. Okay, we don't have form. Here we have to create a lot of things, right, like forms and handle forms and all that. So how we take care of that? Is there? It's not here, right? So it's somewhere here. Okay, something, this one, right? This is the one. So we have to, like, when you submit the form, right, how you're going to grab all the data and send to the server to process. That is one thing. And also how you're going to add the resolver, right? Basically how you're going to pass or validate your form data also. So you have to, like, use form, basically use form from the React hook form, right? And pass that schema. Okay, basically pass that schema, right, to make sure that we are only submitting the field defined in the schema, right? That will do the Jod will do that validation. Okay, so this is the code for validation. This is for the form submission, right? So I have already written some code, right, for that. I will just copy from there to save some time. So what I'm going to do, right, I mean, you get the idea. Okay, so let me just copy this whole thing, because I have to copy again later if not. So we have confirm form. Okay, so I will just come later for this one, right? So let's copy this part. Okay, so that will go here on the top, right? This one, this place. Okay, so name, look at here, right? Okay, we have already signed up form. We don't need this register. Delete that. Define the form, right? So const form and our schema name. So the complaining is schema, right? Let me format. I don't know why it's not format document. Okay, it did not formatting. So the schema, sign up schema. Okay, so let's change that here. We must, provide the right schema, right? So that the error will be gone. I mean, I don't know why it should format perfectly, but let's see if it will work. G.info type of sign up schema, right? Yeah, that's close. And then we must have sign up schema here also. And then we have what default value will be name. I cannot believe this, all this default values, right, will be name, email, password, and confirm password, right? That is all we have. So delete that, we don't need for now. I think I copied too many things, right, for now. Okay, let me see, submit. Yeah, this one we don't need. You know, when I copy, right, because there was already predefined things. Okay, let me go back, delete all this, right, and try to copy again. I think because of the brackets and all that, it makes problem, right? So, you know, I need two things, okay, form and the basically submit handler, right? These are the two things we need, okay? So I will just copy this form, right? The forms will be ending here. That is all I need. Let's add the form below this, right? And of course, we have to supply with our new schema. Okay. I don't know why it's complaining default value. Okay, because I don't have the field yet, right? I don't have all the fields here. That's why, okay? So for now, just leave it. It will work later. So let's start creating the field, right? Let's start creating field, okay? We don't have some on submit handler also yet. We will come back later, right? See how you're going to create each field, right? That is the point. Look at this. This is one field, okay? Username, right? So we can change this to name. That is our first one, right? Name. Let's call this name, right? Let's call it name like that. And here placeholder, we can give it enter your name, right? And then this is your public name. You can leave the description or you can delete it, does not matter. That's one field, okay? The next one, right, we have to create now by copying this. So see, this field are inside the render, right? Render function. Basically in this render, right? The render is property here, which will take the callback function, right? And inside this will be the field, basically data, right, from each input field, okay? And our handler will take care, right? This onSubmit handler gonna take care of all the data. But for now, just look at this structure. That is all you have to understand. This is one field, and that's how you write, right? And it is all coming from the form React, what you call the Satsian form, which we install. I will create next field. Oh, Control G. Let's see, the field, what I need is here, right? When I want to get rid of this, you know, handler also, right? Let's quickly do that. Let's see. You have that, and I need to close, right? I need to close again. So the next will be handler on submit handler, right? So let's copy that also here. Define handler, okay? I don't know why I placed like 2 time, right? So that should go here. We don't have toast yet, okay? So we will come back later, right? Or maybe I will just, for now, I will just delete everything from here, okay? I'll just keep this, what you call that? Just keep this console log value, right? And of course, we have to change this schema now to this handler also. Fine. So the error, I don't know why we're getting this error. Let's see. Left side of the comma operator is unused, right? It has no side effect. Left side. So that is closing here. Then we have resolver, that is fine. Then we have this object, right? I mean, it will automatically format, okay, but you know, it's sometimes you have to default value, right? We'll come back there. But let's continue with our form. Let's continue, right? It's okay. Let's continue creating the next field, okay? So I'll copy this field and add again, right? Here. So I'm getting error, okay? So because maybe of the same name, right? So let's change the name, try again. Field. You can call it email now, right? Save. And this will be email. And okay, what is the error, you know? Okay, just delete this for now. So we have export sign up, right? Let me check quickly one time. We have export function sign up, that is fine. I cannot close that, you know. Something to do with the bracket somewhere, right? So okay, let me quickly look at this. Okay, just give me a second, right? I will hold, and then we're gonna. Let's copy this too, right? And the thing is, I don't need this final function closing bracket. Okay, let's copy that. Should be like this, right? Okay, that is the first thing. Now you change the schema, right? Your schema name is sign up schema. Change here, because I know I was just adding somewhere like extra bracket, right? That is the problem. Okay, sign up schema. Fine. Then you change here also sign up schema. That is first step. Now here we're gonna return our HTML, right? So you know the default value will be, right? We can have 4 items. That is name. That is the first thing. That is what we have in the schema. Okay, look at here: name, email, password, confirm password. So we can create now name, email. That will be empty for now, and then password, right? And then confirm password. That will be something like this. So even that is done. Now after this, okay, this is the closing function, right? So here we're gonna, you know, just use this return, right? Return, okay? Yeah, this return function. So we don't need all, we just need up to the form and close that, right? That is all we need. Return bracket, okay? Like, you know, normally what we do, right? Return something like HTML right here. So that is all we are adding now. Returning all the HTML from the component, okay? So okay, so now we have name. We can call it name. We don't have username. Let's call it name, right? and then here we can change it to name. Then we can add, now this is the first input field. Okay, we can add it a user or enter your name, right? Enter your name. Okay, fine. So now just look at this form, right? This is the main component, okay, which we are getting from our SATCN form. That is the main component. After that, right, we have our HTML form. Okay, on submit, when you submit the form, right, you're gonna have all this field data added to this submit handler, which is here on submit, right? You're just calling this function, callback function inside the handler, right? So this function will take as a value, all data will be stored in this value, right? That's gonna happen. So this is the only thing. Now inside the form, you're gonna have all this field, right? So name is the first field. We need 3 more. Okay, second, third, and fourth, right? Let's change now, or let me do one by one. Okay, so okay, I did something not correct. Let me see, right? Control J. Okay, that's the form, right? And that's our render. I think I'm putting in the wrong place. I should be adding below here, right? So copy that. See, this form field, right, is closed here. Okay, that's the one. This is what we are closing. Okay, so must be below this line. That's the second one. Let's change this to email, right? And here we can write email and enter your email, right? That is the placeholder for form. And then this is your, we can delete this description, you don't need, right? Or if you want to add like this is email or something like that, it should be fine, right? So that's the email. Name must be different, okay, because the data will be transferred in this name, right? Email, or maybe like name. Similarly, we're gonna have password and confirm password, and confirm password, right? So let's call this again password. Here will be password and enter your password, right? Now we can write here confirm password. Confirm password, right? Change this to confirm password. That's the label, right? And then just enter confirm password, right? Okay, so done. We have all this field ready to go. We can test also, right? Let's see. And we are exporting this field. Okay, we are exporting this field, right? So we're gonna, when we submit the value, right, it should console log the whatever in the field here. Okay, so sign in, right? Sign up. This is just a sign up form, right? When we submit, we should get console log. So let's test now, right? Let's test that. I'm gonna run this npm run dev, right? So we don't have the route, right, anywhere to click. So we have to like localhost 3000 / sign up, and it should pop up, right? So localhost 3000 / sign up, enter, right? And we did not get it. So sign up page.tsx and something to do with this form right here. Sign up form, save and refresh again. SIZN, right? Sign up, like that. Okay, so we see we get this form now, right? And if you put your name, email, password, something like 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 1 2 3 4 5 6 and submit, right? In the console we should have some data. Okay, so in the console you see the object now, right? And we have confirm password, email, name, and password, right? We have all this data here. Okay, so we don't need all that. Okay, we don't need all, right? What we have to do is we don't need confirm, we just need one password, right? So for that there is some simple code we have to add. So let's go back here and try to get that. So just look at this validation, right? After this confirm password, after like all this is our validation. Now we say refine. Okay, this is the function, right? Inside it will go callback function, and then we compare. Okay, this path, right? I mean, we are checking that whatever we type right now, whatever we type, right, there will be no complaint. Okay, but after adding this, it will fix that issue. Okay, so let's do that. So in our here, right? Okay, so let's check now. Let's see what happened. Let's type one more time. Okay, now I will just put here maybe 8 9, right? And see, it just password do not match, right? See that? Okay, it just if there is something, password do not match, so we must insert the correct password, right? Then submit. It should send us all that information. That's okay. I mean, we are getting information, that is fine. Next thing is, okay, this password is not hidden, right? How we can hide the password? So we have to tell, right, if this is email or not. Also the type. Okay, the type of data will be email. I mean, by default it is text, but now this is email, right? Our password type will be, so we know this is from HTML. Okay, password, right? So that it will be hidden, right? Done. So now you see something like this. Okay, if you type here, it will give you the complaint, right? Password do not match. Okay, so we have wrapper, right? It's not working. So what we can do is we can just call that wrapper here, wrapper, right? And also let's give this I mean, we have the wrapper, right? Let's see. Yeah, it is in the wrapper now, but it's still too big, right? So if you want to make this form small, maybe you can add another div inside and just structure it, right? So let's say here we can call, what we can call, right? H1 or maybe S1, yeah, sign up form, right? Like that. So you will see on the top of our page right here, sign up form. We can make this small by calling class name max width small, right? SM, so that it will just stick here on the side. If you want to put in the if you want to put this in the center, right, you can make it MX auto, like that. Okay, so right now it's not the part of our auth, right? Okay, it's not part of our what you call layout. So this layout, that's why we don't see that header, footer, and all that. So we have all this here in the root. So we can, I think we can move this one in the root, right? Maybe Let's move it and see what happened. It's get too long, right, guys? So now when we have the data, okay, we need to write like server side code, right? To basically send this data in the database. So let's do up to that point quickly, right? Let's do that. Oh, I don't know why I move, it will take so much long time now. So root, we have auth now. Yeah, it's inside the root, right? Auth also. Okay, fine. So now in the sign up, right, we're gonna have something called form, maybe action, right? Form dash action or sign in action, right? SIGN sign in dash, not sign in, sign up. SIGN sign dash up dot tsx. We can name it anything, but let's call it sign. Action means like server side code, right? Yes, here. So this here will be some function, right? That function job is to go to our Prisma. Okay, Prisma, right? But we don't have anything in our MongoDB database. So let's finish up to that point, right? Let's add the schema, okay, and then stop for today. That's long. So in a database, right? Look at the database, Prisma. That is what we're gonna use. We need to install these things, right? We have to install that. So let's install that quickly. Oh, I mean, we don't need to install Prisma client, right? We have the Prisma client. We just need Prisma adapter, okay? We're gonna need that. Let's install that. npm install Prisma adapter, right? Because even to send our form data in the database, so we need the schema, right, inside our MongoDB database, okay? It's okay, we install that, the auth Prisma adapter, which will be useful later. So here is the the configuration, right? So we're not doing any configuration today. Only thing I need is MongoDB table, right? The user table and all that. So you see that this is the schema for our auth.js. Let's copy all this, okay, and place it as it is, right, inside our schema. So find the schema, Prisma schema here. So we have the product from study, right? And I will just place this for now, like it is saved. Done. Once you have the schema, right, what we do, npx prisma db push, right, and it will push all the schema to our database, right? Done. Now is writing a code for submitting the data from the form to this user, right? But see, the user does not have few things, okay? See, user, right, does not have, they have email verification, but don't have password and confirm password. Let's put there password, that will be string. So we sometimes we have to change, right? And this is also optional, because remember, when we use Google login, right, you don't need password there, okay? So that's why we have to make it optional. And then confirm password, CONFIRM confirm password, right? Name must be same, okay? String, and this will be also optional. Good. That is all change we have to do. We have the name already. We have the email, right? It will load name and email automatically. Password is okay. Confirm. Password is okay, right? Now I will rerun that command to push the update. npx prisma db push, and it will update our database. Next step is quickly, I will just copy the code and I'll show you, right? So that fine. So the, like sign up action, right? So I'll just copy this whole code. Inside the sign up action or auth action, whatever we can call, right? Look at here. So we need to install this big crypt also, right? And import the form schema, import form sign up, right? Sign up form schema. I don't know what is that schema name, right? Let me quickly check. So this is sign up form. Here we need to get schema also, right, in our database, because in the server action, so that it will verify again data what we're going to send from here. Schema is sign up schema. That is what we need. Sign up, right? Oh, I'm not exporting. Sorry guys, I need to export, right? Sign up schema. Okay, simple enough. Sign up schema. Now I'm getting, right? And bigcrypt.js we have to install. So we are sending the password, right? But we cannot store the password as it is. We have to hash it, okay? Hash the password, right? So we can do that. Let's do it. So we can call npm install bcrypt bigcrypt.js. Okay, so and also we have to install the type for that, right? So npm install, you can find all that in the our documentation, right there. I have added @type / bigcrypt, because certain libraries does not have type support, right? So you have to install extra support. Okay, now the errors will be gone, right? See that bigcrypt.js, no more error, no more complaining. Change this schema, right? So that schema will be sign up SIZN, right? Up schema. Okay, so see what happened, right? This function we're going to use now inside our form and pass the data, okay, the values, right, from there. So it will receive that value and run this Prisma, import Prisma. We know that how to import Prisma, right? User find unique where email equal to value.email. So first we're going to check if the user is already inside our Prisma or not, basically inside our database or not, right? If user exists, then we can return the message error. User already exists, success failed, false, right? Just pass this success false. Okay. Next, we're going to hash our password, right? So we have bigcrypt hashing values password. We have to pass whatever password we pass, right? Yeah, I think okay, fine. And then we have this, what you call the salt. We have to pass the salt also. Okay, this is some kind of algorithmic requirement, right? Algorithm, they use this number to encrypt our password and store it in this variable. Now then after we're going to call prisma user dot create and pass the object and call it data and give all everything you want to store now, right? So I just want to store name, email, password, right? Password. Yeah, so one thing, one thing we don't need to I think we don't need confirm password, right? We don't need to store that one, So even that one we don't need in our database. That was the one thing maybe you can get rid of. So let's go back here. Just give me a few more minutes, okay, and then we're done. So in our schema, right, I think we don't need this. We're just storing name, email, and password. I believe that should be good enough. Okay. So now, right, yeah. So I mean, you get the thing, okay? You just creating name, email, password in the database, right? And return the message account created successfully. Success is true. Then if there is some error, because we have try catch block, right? Then you just return the error message here. Done. Now we're going to use this function inside our sign up form. So import that now, right here. Import, I think, sign up. What was that? Just sign up, right? Import sign up. SIGN, sign up from sign up action, right? Okay. And look at here. Inside here now, right? That is what we're going to use, okay? Because we have value, we need to pass that. So for that now, right? I'm gonna use something from here, okay? So this is all I need. We import the sign up already. You're gonna pass the value, right? Must make this function asynchronous, right? Async. Okay. So we don't have now toast right now. We don't have toast. It will complain, right? It's gonna complain. So let's quickly install that also, right? In the section, sonar. What is that? This is the toast. You know, you're gonna see some message like this, right? When something happens, like create account or errors, whatever message you want to pop up here, right? So we use this library or this code, right, for displaying the. Did not copy it. Right click and install. So once you install Sonar, it has two things to do, right? One is like in your layout, it says just add this code, right? See, just below the body somewhere, right? So we'll do that one inside our layout. Let's go to the main layout, right? So main layout is somewhere. Cannot find. Oh, inside the app, sorry guys. This will be here, right? So we're going to import that. And somewhere in below the children, right, we just put poster. Okay, that is all you have to do. The next thing is to display. This is where it's gonna display message, right? But how we're gonna use that is something here. Copy this one, and then in our whichever file we are working on, right, in that place we have to use that. So in sign up form, we are using here, right? Like for example, we're gonna send this value to the sign up in the server action, right? Sign up action. Okay, it will go the data there, and it will, you know, look through the database, create data in the database and all that, and it will return some message like success or fail something, right? If the message is success, then display something toast success, right? And then push it to the, then after that just go to the home page, right? Or just display some error. There is also, we are sending some error right from there. Okay, so we just have to call that toaster here so that we can use, right? Fine. Now is a router because you want to push it because once you submit the data, right, you want to push to the home page. So we have import use router from next navigation. We know that, right? And somewhere here, we're just gonna call that, maybe on the top, right? Let's put it const router equal to use router, like that. You have to execute the function so that you can use, right? So that we can use here. Done. That is all, guys. I think it should load, right? Let's quickly load the data. Now it's not running. Okay, so npm run dev, and again, just wait. Let's refresh this. So I will just put here email 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, right? Maybe something like that. Okay, and submit, right? When I submit, user already exists, right? Okay, so in the database there is already user. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this email, right? So I'll just change now to maybe something like a dev1. Okay, and submit. Account created successfully, and I move to the home page, right? That is all. Okay, so if you go to the, like our MongoDB, and you're gonna see that, right? Not sign up. What is sign in here? So if I go to the browse collection, right? I'm in the e-commerce, project, and you can see all this, like accounts is there, authentication, session, user, right? Let's check the user. Okay, and you can see dev1 just created, right? And something is there already. You can see the password is hashed, so we have the user in our database. We can now use that. Okay, we can use for login, right? And all that. All right, guys, so I will stop here. Thank you very much for your patience. Hope you guys enjoy, right?